Hello, everybody. Welcome to Show and Tell Support Network Talent Hunt. This is something you all have been following. It is a time that we listen, watch, and interact with wonderful individuals who believe they got the talent that it takes to take home the star prize of $2,000. Let me introduce the judges, and then I will bring to the stage the performer for today and have you entertained while you help us pick who is this person that we are looking for. So joining me on the stage right now, I have Mr. Orlando, all the way from Nigeria. He's a producer. I have Mr. Charles, also from Nigeria, who is a producer as well. And then I'm going to have Stel, who will be joining us also from Kenya. Stel, welcome to Show and Tell Talent Hunt. Mr. Orlando.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling super good.
Yes. Mr. Charles, are you ready?
Super ready.
Nice. And Stel, always smiling. You ready for it today, right?
I can't wait to watch the talents of today and see how much we've got here.
I am going to be introducing the person that is going to perform for us today. All right, right now I'm going to be bringing to the stage to showcase and demonstrate his talent, Mr. Mark Ofoma. Mr. Mark, welcome to Show and Tell Talent Hunt. You are now on the stage.
I am Ofoma McDonald by name. I'm bringing forward how to draft and cut a trouser. Here we have a fabric. I'm gonna show you how to draft and cut a fabric, a trouser. So first of all, we have this tool. This is called a hip curve. This is called pattern master. We have tailor chalk here, and I have a tape. So I'm about to cut a trouser. So first of all, before you start cutting a trouser, you have to consider many things. What are those things? You have to measure your waist measurement, your hip measurement, your laps, your knee, and your ankle, and the total length of the person. So after measuring all this waist of this measurement, you're about to go. So these are my measurements, and my waist measurement is 34 inches. My hip measurement is 42 inches. My laps is 25 inches. My knee is 18 inches. My ankle is 14 inches. My total length is 39.5 inches. That is 39.5. So bear in mind that first of all, you have to divide the waist by 4, hip by 4. Then coming over to the laps, you have to divide by 2. You have to divide the laps by 2. You have to divide the knee by 2. You have to divide the ankle by 2. So after dividing my waist by 2, I have 8.5. After dividing my hip by 4, I have 10.5. After dividing my laps by 2, I have 12.5. After dividing my knee by 2, I have 9. After dividing my ankle 14 inches by 2, I have 7. So let us start drafting. After drafting, then we cut. First of all, in drafting, the full measurement of the trouser. The full measurement I have, the full length of the trouser I have here is 39.5. So on the tape, you measure 39.5. 39.5 on the tape. That is my trouser full length. Then you find your waistline. You use your pattern master and mark your waistline. After marking your waistline, then you find your crotch measurement. Crotch measurement is being gotten when a person sits on a hard surface. If a person sits on a hard surface, you measure from the waist to the hard surface. Whatever you get is that person's crotch measurement. So we measure out 10 here. We measure out 10 and mark it. Use my pattern master and roll it. So the next line we have to draw here is our lap line. The lap line is gotten by 3 inches below the crotch line. This is our crotch line. Then 3 inches below the crotch line is our thigh line. You mark it. Then we find the nail line. This is the nail line. The nail line is gotten by dividing the trouser full length by 2. You divide it by 2. So you connect it. This is my full length and this is my hemming allowance. So you start at the waistline, then 2 inches above the crotch line is the hip line. You connect it. So my waist is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. You mark your 8.5 and add 1 inch allowance. Come over to the hip line. My hip or seat is 42. 42 divided by 4 is 10.5. That is 10 and a half. Then I mark 10 and a half. I mark 10 and a half here. Then standard crotch extension is 2. Then I mark 2. Extend the crotch extension. Then you use your pattern master and connect. When you connect, you use your ruler or your pattern master to connect these 2 points, the crotch extension. You use your pattern master to connect the crotch extension. Then dividing the crotch by 2. Divide the crotch by 2, you get the middle of the trouser. My crotch extension plus the crotch is 13 inches. Then divide the 13 inches by 2, you get the trouser, the center of the trouser. After getting the center of the trouser, you connect it. You bring it down. You mark it down. Then this is my thigh line or laps line. This is my thigh line or laps line. My laps here is 25. 25 by 2. My laps is 25. You divide it by 2. By 2 is 12.5. That is 12 and a half. You place 12.5. 12.5 into 2. You give us 6.2. 6.2. You divide it into 2, mark it, and mark it. Then coming to the knee line. Then my nail is 18 inches. 18 divided by 2, it will give us 9. For you to place this 9, you have to divide the 9 into 2. We give us 4 and a half. You place the 4 and a half at the middle and mark your 9. Then my ankle measurement is 14. 14 into 2 is 7. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now, in marking that 7, you have to divide the 7 into 2. It will give us 3.5. You place it at the middle. Then after marking all these things, you use your ruler and connect all of them. Use your ruler and connect all of them. Use your hip curve to connect this side. Then after connecting, we now cut. You start from here and cut. Now, having drafted our trouser front panel, you have drafted it remaining the back panel. Then you fold this. And draw the remaining fabric forward. You bring back the front panel. We use the front panel to draft out the back panel. You place it upside down. We cut like this. We cut like this, upward now. Then we are about to cut upside down. You place it very well. Make sure it is well placed on the fabric. Take note that we are cutting the last part. The last part of the trouser. This is the back panel. You use the front to connect the back panel. Then you measure out 2 inches extra. Then you cut. This is 2 inches allowance all through. 2 inches allowance all through for the back panel. And again, in the back panel, we usually slant with 2 inches for sloping because the back and the front are not of the same height. The back line of the waist is more higher than the front line of the waist. So that is why we slope it with 2 inches. Then after sloping it with 2 inches, you cut. So after cutting the trouser, this is the front panel. The front panel is 2, while the back panel is also 2. So after cutting the front and the back panel, you go on to cut the necessary things that you needed to cut to sew the trouser. So with this, I come to the end of the drafting and cutting of the trouser. Thank you and God bless.
I'm going to say thank you, Mr. Mark. I know you go by Mark or Former. Thank you so much. I will hand you back to the judges to hear what they have to say. I'll start from Stell. What do you have to say about what Mr. Mark just demonstrated to us?
Mr. Mark, you are so fascinating. Actually, I got interested following the details that you are explaining, the explanation from step one to the last stage. So I'm so proud of you. And you have that aspect of confidence. You have got the confidence, you've got the skill. And I think you can do a lot. I mean, coaching people and mentoring people. Thank you so much for showing up on our talent show.
Charles, what do you have to say about these tailoring skills that we just watched?
Mr. Mark, yes, what you have showed us here is amazing. It shows that you've been in this business for... How many years have you been in this business?
I've been doing it for 10 years, sir.
That's wonderful. It shows that you are a professional in what you're doing. Even with the tension, you are able to get a grip of yourself. I love your confidence. And despite doing this on camera with all the tension, I can see that what you're doing is coming out well. Thank you very much for bringing that here. And I assure you that for coming to Show and Tell, something will add to your life. Thank you for bringing this here. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. Mr. Orlando, what do you have to say before we let him off?
Okay, first, Mr. Mark, two things. First of all, I want to commend what you did. Then I would suggest something to you. First off, your teaching skills is amazing. With all the pressure, you're not shaking. You're doing it like a professional. That shows that you've been doing it for a very long while. That shows a professional. So I won't call you a teller. I'll call you a fashion designer. You should have your own designs. I know you have your own designs with this level of skills. Then what I need to suggest to you is go and open channels. If you have not done it already, go and open social media channels. Go and open those channels, do videos and put in those channels. You are an amazing teacher. Thank you very much for coming to Show and Tell.
Thank you, Mr. Orlando. Thanks for that good feedback. Mark, thank you for joining, all right?
Thank you, sir.
This is where we bring it to a close on today's edition of our Show and Tell Talent Hunt.
Show and Tell Talent Hunt. The game is on.